just being knowledgeable about how I spend my money and what I do with it while I'm in college and budgeting well.
It means an understanding of, I suppose, your income and how you spend that income.
I don't know what personal financial literacy means.
Hello, I'm Jennifer Hunter. I'm an Assistant Extension Professor in the Department of Family Sciences, and today I'm joining you to discuss personal finance and basic budgeting through the Money Management Matters Financial Literacy Initiative. A personal budget, simply stated, is a spending plan. And so it is just a plan that you put in place to spend your dollars on paper prior to actually spending them in reality. It's a good idea to do a budget every month so that you have, like I said, a plan in place for where your money will go. So things to think about in developing that spending plan is you have to know how much money you have coming in and also how much money you typically have going out. So what we typically encourage people to do is to start with and identify all their income sources. So most of us typically think as our paycheck as our primary income source, and that's going to be true. But then do we also have other sources of income coming in? So do we have a part-time job that may be adding to that primary income source? Are we earning dollars from scholarships or fellowships that may be adding into that primary income source? So we start with our total income, and then the next step we want to do is identify our total expenses for the month. And most people have a pretty good idea of what their big expenses are. So things like their rent payment or their car payment, insurance payments, typically they can rattle those off the top of their head really quickly. Where people tend to struggle are what we consider to be flexible expenses. And so those are the smaller bills that we typically have each month. That would be things like gasoline, food at the grocery store, food away from home, those type expenses that just aren't nearly as easy to keep track of what they may be and how much they are each month. So we really encourage people to do a spending diary, to track those expenses for at least 7 days, if not an entire month, to start to get a gauge of how much they truly are spending. And so once they do that, they can sit down and categorize it, see how much money is going out the door, identify areas to scale back or cut back. So sometimes people look at their expenses and they say, you know, this really isn't in line with my income. So how can I cut back? Do I have maybe premium cable channels that I'm really not using because I stream things online? Or do I have a premium cell phone package that I'm really not using all the data plan, or I do not need unlimited minutes or unlimited texting? So are there areas to cut back in those ways? Also, we look at spending leaks, and spending leaks are those impulsive buys that we might make at the grocery counter if we pick up a candy bar or a pack of gum. It might also be what I call the Diet Coke habit of if late in the day you kind of need a little sugar rush and you go down to the vending machine and buy a bag of chips or a candy bar or a Coke, that those small expenses of $1, $2, $3 a day really and truly add up over the course of the month. So you look at where can you scale back, and then you develop a plan for the next month to again spend all of your dollars on paper prior to spending them out in the real world.